Today we are going to see and learn withholding tax process and how we can calculate the withholding tax. So for that, we'll go to SPRO and click on SAP reference IMG. We'll go to financial accounting and go to financial accounting global settings, withholding tax. Under withholding tax, we have option extended withholding tax. And here under that, we have a basic settings. So first thing we need to check whether our country exists or not. For US, yes, we have US and cross check US is there or not. If not, we'll create one. So UK is there, unknown country is there, United Kingdom. So US is not there. That is fine, not an issue. So we'll create one US specific, and description I will write it as USA. Press enter and save it. After that, the next step should know like why withholding tax will be calculated. So there are two taxes which we are aware, like one is sales and purchase related tax. That tax we will do the configuration here. Whatever we sales or whatever we purchase, the taxes are comes from this particular calculations which I have highlighted now. And other than that, there are other individual taxes like withholding tax is like if a professional earning any income, so based upon that, we have to pay some taxes. Like if we are earning by way of interest or way of rent and all, so these are all going to be a individual specific kind of taxes. It is not related to a sales or a purchase. Professional is charging charges, like legal team is there or a doctor is there, so they are all going to uh, uh, pay a withholding tax, right? So that withholding tax configuration, we will do it here. So first thing, we have verified that the country exists or not. Then definition of withholding taxes. So we need to check for US countries. Basically, we don't have any tax case, but without the tax case also we can set up. So these are all keys where the interest they have to pay the taxes, like deposit on interest, FD interest rate, so they have to pay taxes on that one. And gross income, so gross other income, if anything, if they are getting a royalty, so on royalty also they have to pay income. Dividend paid by foreign corporations, so they have to pay tax on that one. So these are all type of taxes which the US is going to make a payment. So what we will do is, for time being, we'll create deposit interest. So this is the, so in the gambling winning also you have to pay taxes like lottery and all. So deposit interest I will create for our learning purpose. And in India, where the withholding tax exists, so I will show you that one also for India. So these are the taxes where you have a rent and professional fees, which I said, insurance commissions. So these are all liable for withholding taxes, TDS on securities. So as we are doing it for US, so these are the keys which where withholding tax have been liable. So as per our learning purpose, we'll go with interest, and you can create as many keys based upon the requirement of the business. So we'll create deposit interest. Okay, then after that, you have to go to calculation. So under calculation, you will see tax types. So tax, withholding tax will be calculated either on invoice. So when you create an invoice, then at the time of invoice creation, withholding tax will be calculated, or at the time of payment. So either of the one, like at the time of invoice or at the time of payment. But at the end, we have to pay the taxes, or we have to collect the taxes from the respective users, and we have to pay it to the government, or the users, means whoever is providing a service, can also directly pay based upon their legal uh, sanctions, or a legal tax gives some rebates, or a tax gives some concessions, or a tax authority gives some notices. Based upon that, they either they will pay or they will ask us to pay it. Okay, so based upon this, so either we will pay at the time of invoice, or maybe we will pay at the time of payment. So what we will do is, so if you have not seen our previous lecture, so we have done a lot of configuration on TMIN. So we have done Tata Motors India, Tata Motors US, and Tata Motors Great Britain, all these configurations. So I will give the description, all the details, the link and all, so you can go and verify it. So that you will connect what exactly we are doing. So it might happen that if you see this video, it is something new for you, but you have to see my old video so that you will get a better view. So we'll create one invoice for US. Yeah, so withholding tax for invoice. So let's say withholding tax Tata Motor US, right? So Tata Motors at the time of invoice level. We'll create one tax at the time of invoice. Yeah, so we'll create tax at the time of invoice for Tata Motors US. So Tata Motors US withholding tax at the time of invoice. So we'll create one. So we have here the two options. Either you can create at the gross level, or you can create at a net level. So we'll go with the net level now. So this is done. Then we'll go back here and we'll create one more withholding tax type that will calculate at the payment level. Give country, and these are all the SAP standard one. So FE, and mostly used in US is FE and ST. Okay, so 1099 report, 104. This is also 1044 report, 1042 report. Yeah, this one. Sorry. Yeah. So 1042 is a state report. So where exactly it is within the country. 1099 is something which we have to calculate on the other countries. So these are all basic information, and let's create a new withholding tax type here. So that is applicable for us. So Tata Motors at the time of payment. So Tata Motors withholding tax at the payment level. So give net payment and save it. Okay, so we have created two withholding tax. Now we'll go to type. So withholding tax type is done. So now withholding tax code. At withholding tax code, what we will do is we will assign a percentage. So we have created two tax types. Uh, one is what we will do is we'll copy the standard one. So we have created two tax types, right? So one is TI for the invoice level, and one is TP for the at the payment level. So copy one withholding tax which is already exists and change the type to TI. And here also I will give tax type as TI. And this is at the time of Tata Motors withholding tax. Tata Motors withholding tax at Tata Motors withholding tax at payment level, sorry, interest level, invoice level, invoice level. And this is because there are different types of tax will be liable, right? So we are just calculating on the deposit interest. So interest I will mention. And here we'll go with the tax rate of 12 percentage. Let's go with 12 percentage and save it. Copy here and give it as TP, which is already we have created, and withholding tax T type will also withholding, and instead of invoice it will be payment level, and here I will give percentage as 15 percentage. So at the time of payment we'll calculate 15 percentage. At the time of invoice we'll calculate 12 percentage, or see it's based upon company requirement. We'll keep it 12 percentage only, so I don't want to confuse. We'll keep it at 12 percentage only. And in the withholding tax we have not mentioned as interest, right? So let's go and mention as interest. So for the interest, whatever the income which we earn, we are going to pay withholding tax on it. Okay, so we have created tax code, tax types. Now we'll define a withholding tax code is done, and withholding tax type is also done. Now we'll go to tax, minimize this one, and go to company code and assign a withholding tax type to company code. Click on new entries, or what we will do is we'll copy the standard one. Copy this one. So when you copy the standard one, these are all information come as a default. So here our tax type is, there are two tax type we have. One is withholding tax at the time of invoice. Copy this one and save it. But unfortunately, I have not changed the company code. Tata Motors US, and save it. Let me change the this one. This is wrongly created. We'll remove this one, change. Okay, now we'll go to Tata Motors US. Copy this one, and here we have Tata Motors invoice, right? Copy this and change this to Tata Motors payment level. So we are assigning a tax code to a company code through this step. Okay, this is done. Now activate with extended withholding tax. Someone is already there in the screen. Okay, so we'll come to the screen again. We'll go to posting account for withholding tax type or a tax code. So go to this one and define account for withholding tax, and our chart of account is Tata Motors operational chart of account. Select this one, press enter. So give Tata Motors T invoice level, Tata Motors at the invoice level, TP at the payment level, and TP. See, if you have rent and all like that, so you have to create multiple uh, withholding tax and tax codes based upon your requirements. Now we'll select or create one withholding tax account. Go to FS00. I already created. I will show you that account. Under expense liability side, you will see withholding tax payable account I already created. So this is the configuration I have kept. It is a balance sheet level, and the liability side I have created withholding tax payable to the government. And here I have given the percentage, not it is liable for tax, and without tax are also allowed. I selected that checkbox, and this is field status group I have selected as Z00. Yeah, you can give this one also tax office clearing account, but I will go with the standard G0. So I will give this GL account, which is specific to tax, over here and save it. Okay, so the tax account I have given, that is done. So after posting, we don't have any other settings. Only the company code which earlier active extending withholding tax is there was logged by someone. So let me check this one. Tata Motors US. Yeah, we need to select this checkbox. Let's do it again. Still logged. Karthik 01. So somebody is logged. So in that time, what you have to do is you have to coordinate with that particular user and do your ask him to unlock or come out of that screen, and you can proceed with further testing or configurations. So this will happen, and SAP will always pop up like if somebody is logged. So you will see users like this. Okay, so let me go to. So basically, this screen should not be taken so much time. SM04. So under SM04, let's find that particular user, Karthik. So he is doing VA01 some settings. So time being, I will just delete this session. Let's see if I will able to do it. No. Where is Karthik? Create sales order. But sales order should not be holding my configuration. Okay. Go here and use Tata Motors US and select this checkbox. See, it is just a few seconds activity, right? Not sure that user why this much time he has taken. Okay, just save this one for US and come out of this screen so that he can continue his testing. Okay, activate withholding tax report. We are not more interested on that one now. We'll go to vendors for the US. So who is the vendor for the US? Go to that particular vendor. To find that one, SC69, go to LFB1 table and give the company code Tata Motors US and execute it. So this is the vendor which we have. Copy this vendor and we'll make settings in the withholding tax for this particular vendor. So go to business partner BP and give that vendor details here. Double click on it, and here you have to select the role. It's a supplier FI role. Select that role and click on company code data here. When you click on company code data, it will show you all this information. Click on vendor withholding tax. Here you have to click on the edit option and give the withholding tax for invoice and the same information code also here, and select its subject for withholding tax. There might be possibility that organization may go with TI or a TP. Okay, so sometimes what happens, they select both and activate only subjected to withholding tax only one TP. So for some other user, they will use TI, or some users they will use TP. Based upon their rules and regulations, they follow the process. But SAP has given all the options, and they can utilize these options as per the business requirement or a client requirement. So if client says we deduct withholding tax at the time of invoice, so you have that option. And if client says we deduct withholding tax at the time of payment, you have that option also. So now we are deducting the payment at the time of invoice. Okay, save this one. Now go to FS. Let's copy this vendor. We need this vendor slash and FS B60. and give this vendor details and check whether we are in US company code. Yes, we are in US company code. Give the invoice data, start and end date and reference number. Withholding tax testing amount, we'll put it as 10,000. It's a USD amount, and tax also we'll put same withholding tax testing. Here basically it should be any expense account which is properly derived withholding tax. So I'm just putting as interest received on FD. Basically it should be interest paid on it. Let's say purchase account only. So we need to check the functionality, right? So we'll check whether the withholding tax has been calculated or not. So let's put 10,000. We are not focusing much on which account debit and which account credit. We are checking withholding. So if whatever the proper accounts are there, business knows it, which accounts to be entered here. Select this one, give a option here, any cost center, then press enter. Then document, click on simulate document posting. So we are checking if we have any errors. So we don't see any errors, right? So we have set 12% to be calculated. So that has been calculated. And this is the same GL account which we have given, and post this one. So you see that document is been posted. Let's see display document, and you will see it is been posted with a withholding tax of 12%. Now go to FBL 1N report, and for this particular vendor, select and execute it. As we have only one vendor, that is the reason I have not given vendor. So you see here 8,800 is been deducted, and the 1,200 which is captured by the or means collected from the vendor, so will be payable for us, and we are going to pay the tax authority that 1,200 rupees or a 1,200 USD. So click on this and click on overview option here, and you will see this 1,200 has been done. Okay, now what happens? So let's do make a payment. Let's make a payment. So before making a payment, I just wanted to show the business partner again. Start this one, go to business partner again. So you still see here, it's a at the invoice level, and we are going to try to make a payment for that particular document with the 8,800. So slash n or slash o f dash 53. So we'll go with a manual payment now. F dash 53. Give the document details here. When we make a payment, it will use KG document. Add a text payment. Let's say we are making a payment to the vendor. Payment, and here we have to give the bank details. So let's give the bank details. Cash account, from cash we are making payment, and 8,000. Let's put you are not sure about the amount, put any amount. We can make a adjustment later on also. If you know the amount, you can enter the amount. If you don't know, then not an issue, you can update this one. Any amount you can put and then rectify it. 8,500, 8,800 is the amount, and value date I will put today's date. Any other information is needed? I don't think. Then from which particular account we want to make a payment, or we want to payment, we are trying to make a payment to the Apple vendor. Any other information? I don't think. We have filled all the information. Click on process open item. So is not permitted, and entry field is a value date is not permitted. Okay, then click on process open item. The entry TMUS is missing in table T0434. Let's see what is missing. What is T04T3G table? So open this one, FS SE69, and put the error here. So it is showing as something is missing, right? Okay, so what SAP is saying that the tolerance group for customer under is missing. Yes, that we have missed, and we'll do that setup also. So for doing that, go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting. Under financial accounting, go to general ledger account, general ledger accounts and receivables. Under that, go to business transaction. Under business transaction, go to outgoing payment. Under outgoing payment, go to manual outgoing payment. Under that, you have a defined tolerance group. So execute this one. So you will see the standard tolerance groups are there. So I never created any tolerance group which is basically required for a client. But here you have the options like what is the maximum percentage discount you want to give, what is the amount and all. So what you can do is give tolerance group, copy this tolerance group, a standard tolerance group, give your company code TMUS and press enter and save it. Same way, do it for other company codes also because this is useful for tolerance group India also, and the same tolerance group we will use for Tata Motors Great Britain also. So what is the use of tolerance group? So here you will provide what is the maximum percentage of discount you are going to give, and what is the permitted difference amount. So these are all uh, settings you do here. So while making a payment, what is the difference amount you can write off and all these things. Okay, now we'll go again and provide all the information again. F dash 53, put all the information again. And now click on process open item. So here there are two open items which we have. Okay, as we said, like we don't know what is the amount, right? So we just enter 10,000. So here it is, there are two different line items are there, but actually we are going to pay 8,800 because this is the invoice which we have it. So double click on it, so it will deselect it. And I'm wanted to pay 8,800 right now. As we discussed, like we are not sure about the payment. So in that case, what you have to do is click on overview option. So double click on it. Now you know like it's a 8,800 I want to pay. Click on that 8,800, process open item. So you will see that 8,800 and the minus 8,800 and it is done. So make a payment 8,800, 8,800 and do it. So here we go to withholding tax. It will show zero amount. Okay. It will show zero amount because this is the line item which we are going to make a payment. 9000 is the withholding tax line and we are making a payment for this one. And before that, I just want to show the report again. FBL 1N. Okay, you go here and see here. I'm just selecting the open item and execute it. So you will see here there are two line items have been there. One is for 10,000, one is for 18,000. 800, 8,000, 800, 8,800. So there are two line items which are showing as a open items. Now we'll make a payment for this. So the payment has been done with a 1500 account. So let's see document display. So it's paid from 8,000 cash paid to this particular 8,800 paid to this particular uh, person, like this particular vendor 8,800. So this is how the payment has been done manually. Now if I go and go back, log in again, so it will not show up here. It will not show up here. Instead, it will go to a clear items. So just select this clear items and you will see the 8,800 has been cleared now. So it will not show as an open item. Open items are those items which are till yet to be paid, and clear items are those items which is already paid, or due to some reason we have reversed it. Okay, you want to see all items, you can click on open items. Sorry, you want to see all items, it will show open items as well as clear items simultaneously. But if you want to see only open items, you have to select this radio button and execute it. And if you want to see clear items, select this radio button and execute it. So it will show like this. So this is how the open items, clear items and everything we have seen. Now we'll go back and now we'll change the, actually for test training purpose only I am making a changes, but normally one user will have one withholding tax, or sometimes very rare cases they will have a two withholding tax types and all. So TP, and this information will be provided by business. So you have to ask business like this particular vendor is liable for which what withholding tax or which withholding tax. So they will provide. So you have to ask the complete details of the vendor and update withholding tax as per that. So let's save this one. So now I have made the changes with the TP. Do a posting F dash FB60 posting where we have entered. Earlier, like we saw, like there are three line items has been created, right? One is for vendor line, other one is for purchase line, and that tax line with the 1200. Now we'll see at the time of payment what will happen. Reference will give the same amount now. Same thing. Everything we are keeping at same. We'll go to and click on simulate and save it. So the document 11900 has been created. Let's display this document. Okay, this is the current document with the withholding tax TP. So the base amount is 10,000, everything. Now we'll also see the earlier document which we have created. So the difference between both the documents will get a better idea what has happened. So go to FB03. The document number was 1. Give that old document number. See here, we see there is a separate line has been created 1200, but here I don't see that separate line because we are saying that, telling the system that calculate withholding tax at the time of invoice. That is by this code, whatever here we are saying that Tata Motors invoice. This code is we have created to calculate the withholding tax at the time of invoice. But here withholding tax type, here we said like at the time of payment you calculate the withholding tax. Okay, so now we'll try to make a payment for this particular invoice. Go to F-53. Withholding tax, payment, TP, okay. Then give the same information. Here I will put something, I don't know the amount, so I will put something different. Or you can put but standard low. Basically what happens is we put $1 or $2 something. Give this details, press enter. Now you see that withholding tax has been calculated and it is showing directly 8,800 is my liable to make a payment. So this I have not selecting. Currently our document is this one, right? So this is 10,000 amount we are going to. This is the amount we are not this one. Let me open that document FB03, and this is the document which we have. See, the 19002 is the document, and we are liable to pay 10,000. So here also it is showing 10,000, but system at the time of calculation, system automatically took 8,800 because the withholding tax says that it means the tax code says that it should be calculated at the time of payment. So as we are making a payment, so it will calculate withholding tax. So if we go to withholding tax here, so it will show the withholding tax amount and all the details. Likewise, click on overview option. As I said, like if you don't know, then you have to make a adjustment later on. Just press enter, it will automatically take 8,800. Or if you know 8,800 amount from previous script, you can directly enter. So now you can see not as a total amount 8,800 and 8,800. We are making a payment. Okay, and let's make the posting and go to document and display. It will show the same amount, like 10,000 we have paid, and out of which 1,200 we have to pay as a withholding tax, 1,200 USD. So this is how the withholding tax works, and based upon the client requirement, you will be creating a multiple withholding tax and assign it to multiple vendors. And there are a couple of scenarios where you have the option of adding TI also here. And this basically we don't select it. If we want, we can select it, not an issue, but we don't select it. So we can give both the options to the client. And if clients wants to calculate sometimes TI, so then he will select and then post the document. And we also give the option something like, I will show you. Let's say this is so there are few scenarios we come across in real scenario. So client says that you select both in the master data, but at the time of making a transaction or invoice, I will decide whether I am going to pay at the time of invoice or a payment. So you can select both like this. Now go to /n FB60. Give all the information here. The same transaction will take amount. Give all the information. Okay, now if you go to withholding tax, you will see both are activated. And if I go to simulation, so you will see that here 1,200 is been selected, correct? So in that case, what business decides is, if they don't want to do it at the time of TP, so they will just go and remove TP from here. Now do a simulation. So you will see 10,000 is been updated. Earlier it was different. If they want to add at the time of invoice, so they will use TI and remove TP. Now will I go to simulate? So it will show this one. So you can post the transaction, and every other information will update properly. So this is how the business can utilize this checkbox. If we select, then it will calculate for both, and that can be utilized like this. Okay, I assume you understood now how the withholding tax calculates and how we can update. Thanks.